inside your diary.
It's a new week, and this week I'm really going to drown you in this pool of entertainment. So don't bother swimming, okay? This week we experienced the Johnnie music and whiskey concert. That was the talk of the whole weekend, and we're going to dissect that for you. Who did what? Who didn't do what? So this week is a totally opinionated weekend, and I'm going to be talking about my takes on what the concert over the weekend looked like. And of course, so many arguments on social media over the weekend. Who did what and who didn't do what? As far as this concert was concerned, there were several fights, but one thing which caught my attention and which was the most important of all is that for the first time that an international artist headlined our own concert, the topic wasn't really about him, it was about our artist. And like I said before at the beginning of this year, and I keep stressing on it in all of these editions of the show, that I promised that 2019 was going to be an amazing year in our entertainment industry. Yeah, and you can see it already happening. So the concert went down in Douala on the 18th of April. People came with several expectations, tension among the artists, and I'm going to tell you why there was so much tension among the artists. This week, in this edition of the show, we're going to be talking only about the Johnnie music and whiskey concert. The concert that had people gathered in Douala earlier than normal had to roll around 11 p.m. Of course, with one of the biggest MCs that Cameroon has, Tito Valerie, who was upstage as he introduced the show, trying to make everybody turn up and heat it up for what was going to hit the stage. Started with Shura. Just for the note, Shura is a signatory to Stephen's music, one of the most recent signatories to Stephen's music. Aside the fact that Yaoundé just joined in the line to make her not the most recent, Shura was just signed to Stephen's music. She released a couple of songs. One of her hit songs was Aledi, which of course has hit over 1 million views on YouTube and trended all over local TV stations in Cameroon. So she didn't really have so much in her gallery of songs to prove. So she came off stage. The music this time, the concert was entirely live. For the first time, Cameroon is experiencing an entire live music. Unlike what happened at Paposi for Magasco when he organized the Golden Boy concert, he also did live music. But this is the first ever concert which has a group of artists, all of them entitled to perform live, including rappers and hip-hop artists. It was just an amazing sight, something to look up to. Shura came off stage, did her part with the tension and the fact that she's a newbie, and she still performed amazingly, the only lady among all of the lions. Yeah, and she met her part and stepped off the stage. And then came MInks. MInks, when he came to the stage, the expectations, of course, this was an environment of people who listen to his music, right? DOuala, the expectations were high, and he did deliver. Not so much to write home about, but MInks always delivers, and he has grown over so much time. Unlike the other performances that MInks has had, 2018 was like his year because he released a couple of hit songs, and connecting with the crowd wasn't really an issue. As he performed the song and was out and going, the crowd got it back to back. Okay, it was an amazing turn up for MInks in Douala. Then came Kosi. Before Kosi came off stage, I just want to note that before this concert actually really happened, Kosi and Jovi were on a fight. Who was the best? Who was the best in rapping? Who was the best in music? Who was doing the best music? These two were going to perform at this concert, and this concert was going to be live music. There was so much to prove to the fans. The fans also had a lot of expectations from these two, and just for the record, from these two, not from the international artists who came. So when Kosi came to the stage, he had to prove his word, right? Can you imagine the tension that should have been existing in the bloodstreams of Kosi and Jovi? Well, Kosi came to the stage way earlier before Jovi and had to perform. I mean, he did pure live music, and it was an amazing ride for him off stage. I mean, Kosi has not done grand and very grand concerts like this ever since he joined Big Dreams. After leaving the Pin Boys, Kosi has been pretty much about doing songs. Yes, he had like 2 or 3 songs that made waves 2018, and he was like that artist that you need to reckon with in the year 2019, because he has been having this progressive growth ever since he got into Big Dreams, having hits back to back. But proving his word on stage was another weight on his shoulders. Kosi took the mic, and of course his voice gambled through the microphone with so much tension as he shouted most of the time. Kosi was on his first day of performance. The tension was so high, and you could hear it in his voice. He was trying to prove all what I don't know. I bet prove to the fans that he was as good as he claimed he was. Of course, Kosi is good, but the stage, it's another different level of entertainment. You need to be able to deliver upstage. So the studio and the stage, 2 different things. The ability to connect to your fans, that's what the strength is. So Kosi in Douala didn't really give the vibe as it was supposed to be. Looking at how Kosi performed in Yaoundé on the 20th of April is very clear proof that he was disappointed in his performance in Douala, because when Kosi stormed the stage in Yaoundé on the 20th of April, which was of course the second show that was supposed to happen after that in Douala, it was lit. He turned up, there were a lot of updates, his entrance was entirely different, he had dancers on stage, he had all of the music turn up, changing from what was hip-hop to what was Makossa to what was Dombole. He tried to put a blend of everything in his music upstage, and the vibe was so contagious as all of his fans were on their vibe the whole time because he was on stage. We're talking about DOuala. DOuala wasn't really a go-to. It was nothing to write home about because he had all of the tension coupled with the fight that happened on social media, coupled with the fact that there was so much to prove to his fans. Yeah, but he didn't just go right. Kosi, like I said before, he's a smart artist and he's always having this progressive growth. Explains why Yaoundé was so lit. Internet already had it that before the concert even started, most of the turnout were for the Mboko God, or most of the people who turned out were the Mboko gang, the people who came to watch Jovi, of course. You know how I already told you, Jovi's fans are more than just fans. They're worshippers and they're going to do anything. Watch the Mboko God perform. I mean, aside that, many people and many Cameroonians were also angry that they had to put Tekno as the headliner when Jovi is an amazing artist and can pull the crowd on his own. Jovi came up stage on that day with all of the expectations. His entrance was insane. People got him in black. It was looking almost like something crazy, cultism or whatever it was. That's how his entrance was. And when he came to the stage, he pretty much didn't have to say so much before the screams all started. I mean, his performance in DOuala was all lit. But is this what the internet thought about? No. Those who watch live on social media since the concert was on Facebook thought Jovi didn't do amazing. I think that before we even go into explaining all of the hurdles that went on social media and people saying, no, he didn't do live music, he wasn't as good, because Cameroonians are always looking for something that is not right to talk about. Let me first of all focus on the fact that live music is the ability to use an orchestra or a band of instrumentalists to play a music you produce on stage for you to perform. And that's exactly what Jovi was doing the whole time. And just for the record, there are some loops in the song that can be made upstage, except the concert organizers have high-tech equipment that can make music or create the loops upstage and mix it. And this often comes in very huge mixers or musical devices or audio devices that are on stage and can produce all of these loops in the music. But Jovi is a hip-hop artist, and just for the record, he couldn't produce these loops using just the piano and the guitar and the drums that were happening, because you already know how his production is. So it was important for him to use a DJ to play these loops at the background while the orchestra plays. I don't know how Cameroonians don't understand that, to say, no, he didn't do live music, so he's not as strong. It's not easy to play on drum kits live on music where you normally play on beats that are made electronically. That's completely a different vibe. So Jovi did perform in DOuala and it was lit, really lit atmosphere. But was that the case in Yaoundé? I mean, when he came to Yaoundé, his entrance was same thing, powerful vibe. When he comes to the stage, the Mboko gang goes crazy. I mean, some people even said some girl fainted in the crowd. I can't say about this, I can't confirm such a story because I wasn't seen everywhere around, but I can only say what I saw. Yeah, and Jovi came up stage in Yaoundé. There was kind of some crazy stuff that went on with his band, not at the level of his band, but at the level of his DJ. Something actually really went on. I mean, technical issues go on everywhere, right? So his music was paused for a bit when he was about to perform the Man Pass Man, which has been his intro song in all of the concerts. So something kind of shaky happened. But did the crowd notice? No, the crowd didn't notice. Why did the crowd not notice? Because his fans kept shouting. I mean, shouting his name the whole time. Jovi spent like 2 minutes on stage before the performance actually really started. But his fans, he didn't have to say anything. He didn't even tell his fans anything. I mean, it just started. You can see that how the entertainment industry has really changed over time. I talked to Tito Valerie, who hosted the show for the 2 days, and I wanted to find out who his favorite was, and this is what he had to say.
Favorite? That's difficult to say. I think that every artist has their own thing. Everybody had a different energy. But I think that the moment where it dawned on me that I felt good and I had goosebumps was when I saw how the people welcomed Jovi. I think it was a special moment for me because I know his story.
And just before I forget, there was DJ Cyrus who turned this game to another level. You know, when Kosi left the stage in Yaoundé, DJ Cyrus had to keep the vibe for another extra 1 hour before the Mboko God comes to the stage. I have not experienced something like this before. His vibe, the music, the turn on. What are my takes on what happened over the weekend at the Johnie Music and Whiskey concert? I think that the Cameroon entertainment industry has grown. Like, growth is one of the most important things that we notice during this period. I mean, artists doing live music, new stuff, right? The second thing that I'm thinking about is positivity. I think that our industry has grown to some positive standard. Just before the concert started, Jovi and Tizi Pancha were on a crazy social media thread. So much much fighting, so much beefing and all of that. But what happened when Jovi left the stage? The first person who went on the social media platform to tweet a congratulations to Jovi was Tizzy Panchak. Mr. Leo also did tweet a congratulations and told Jovi, thank you for finally making us and putting us first place in our own land. You know what that means? Because finally we have a concert that headlined an international artist, and we are talking about our artist. Amazing stuff, yeah? And what's the last thing on my take on this? Recognition. I tried as much as possible to drown you in the pool of entertainment this week, yeah? If you love what we give you, if you love to continuously listen to our buzz and first person, do not forget to follow us on our numerous social media platforms, and do not forget to subscribe in the red button below. We always give you what's hot and what's not. It's your boy, Karawa.